What if the moment you stopped explaining, everything started aligning? When you focus inward and stay silent, distractions fade, clarity sharpens, and the world's noise loses its grip. You stop chasing, and things begin arriving. Quiet becomes your power. Stillness becomes your strategy. In silence, you become unshakable. In solitude, you become unstoppable. This is the path to power, peace, and alignment, the trap of noise. You were not born to chase noise. Too much of your life has been spent reacting to the world's demands, voices telling you what to do, where to go, what matters. But the truth is, you were born to create order from chaos. The man who reacts never builds. He only runs. When you focus on your own thoughts and listen to your inner voice, you stop chasing and start creating. The world is full of distractions, gossip, criticism, applause, rejection. None of these build your dreams. Silence, however, is the soil where ideas grow. By cutting unnecessary speech, declining pointless conversations, and choosing solitude over shallow company, you create space for what truly matters. You sit with your plans, refine them in silence, and act. Example, the factory worker picture, two factory workers. One talks all day about his future plans, the other listens, works, and studies the machines. After a year, the doer moves up, not the talker. How much of your strength leaks through conversations that do nothing for your vision? The strength in stillness. When a man learns to be still, he builds power others cannot see. This strength doesn't roar or flash. It gathers like water behind a dam. Silent, heavy, unstoppable. Many mistake movement for progress, but not all motion moves forward. You don't need to be everywhere. You need to be effective where you are. To develop inner strength, sit quietly with your purpose. Review it daily. Refuse distractions. Protect your mind like a blacksmith guards his fire. Imagine a man who never misses a day of quiet time before work. He doesn't gossip or argue. His peers may mock him, but when opportunity arrives, he's ready. His strength was built in silence. Guarding your attention. Your attention is your most sacred possession. Where it flows, your energy follows, and where your energy goes, your future grows or decays. Most men lose their potential through small leaks, idle talk, unnecessary gatherings, useless opinions. These aren't harmless, they're thieves. A wise man is ruthless about his attention. He chooses what enters his mind deliberately, like a warrior selects battles. Treat your focus like a weapon, sharpened and protected. In a distracted world, attention is power, the freedom of solitude. Growth requires freedom. Freedom from pressure to impress, from comparisons, from judgment. In silence, you can fail without shame and succeed without noise. The roots of greatness grow in the dark, far from the crowd. The man who rises in silence becomes indestructible, driven by an internal force that doesn't need applause. The apprentice's path. Imagine an apprentice, unnoticed, quietly honing his skill in the back of the workshop. While his peers chase approval, he chases excellence. One day the master steps down, and the quiet apprentice rises to lead, not because he sought the position, but because he earned it through unseen preparation. Silence as strategy. Silence is not emptiness, it is discipline. A man who governs his speech governs his life. His thoughts stay sharp, his emotions steady. When he speaks, his words land like hammers. Few, clear, precise. In a world obsessed with expression, the loudest man is often the weakest. True strength radiates quietly. The commander's presence. Think of a battlefield commander. He doesn't boast or bark random orders. His stillness signals certainty. When he speaks, a single order shifts everything. His authority comes from what he withholds. Silence creates mystery, breeds authority, and sharpens focus. Selectivity breeds value. A man who gives himself to everything becomes nothing. His worth dissolves because he has no boundaries. Power doesn't chase, it selects. A powerful man is selective with his words, actions, and presence. He listens more than he speaks, choosing conversations with care. His scarcity makes his presence felt. The silent merchant. Consider a respected merchant who doesn't boast of his success. His work speaks for him. People seek his guidance not because of what he says, but because of how he lives. His reputation is his shadow, present even when he is not. The private work of greatness. Your best work happens in private, like cathedrals built brick by brick over years without applause. Greatness is earned in solitude, in the early hours before the world wakes, in the quiet nights when doubts whisper. You don't need recognition to begin. You need discipline to continue. The pianist's dedication picture. A young man at a piano alone, refining his craft day after day. No audience, just the keys and his drive. One day he plays for a crowd and they're moved, not by talent alone, but by the silent hours that built it. Focus as the key to clarity. The world is full of busy men who are nowhere near effective, their energy scattered across meaningless tasks. A man who concentrates his mind becomes a weapon, cutting through noise with precision. Focus begins with silence, choosing one mission each day and guarding your time like it's sacred, the writer's sanctuary. Imagine a writer in a small room, no phone, no internet, just a pen and a story. His undisturbed focus allows him to finish in a week what others couldn't in a year. His silence is his sanctuary. His focus is fuel. Wisdom in silence. Wisdom is found in the man who listens, not the one eager to prove his knowledge. Silence creates space for insight, for noticing patterns others miss. The wise man waits, observes, and speaks only when it matters, earning respect through precision, not volume. The farmer's authority. Think of an old farmer at village meetings, listening quietly while others argue. When he speaks, the room falls still, not because he's loud, but because his words work. His authority is earned through years of silent attention, speaking with purpose. Your words are either tools that carve your path or traps that pull you off course. Speak only when it moves your mission forward. Before speaking, ask, does this help? Is this necessary? Cut the useless, the reactive, the emotional. Let your results be your spokesman, your silence your shield. The boardroom pivot. In a heated boardroom discussion, one man sits quietly, listening. When he speaks, a few measured sentences redirect the room. His restraint, not his volume, shifts the conversation. Execution. Overtalk. The crowd talks about plans, you execute them. Every plan loses strength when spoken too soon. Keep your goals private, your blueprints guarded. Track completions, not conversations. Measure steps taken, not stories told. The silent builder. Picture. A man waking before dawn, taking deliberate steps toward his vision while others sleep. He doesn't explain, he builds. One day, people notice his transformation, but they didn't see the silent decisions that made it possible.
Protecting your vision. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts. Silence is a shield, protecting your ideas from small minds that mock or doubt. Exposing your vision too soon invites judgment and distraction. Stay quiet, focus inward, and let your results speak. The inventor's garage. An inventor works alone in his garage, failing and improving in silence. Neighbors mock, but he says nothing. One day, he unveils a machine that changes everything. His silence gave him space, protection, and power. Strength without applause. The need for applause is a poison, shifting your focus from purpose to performance. The strongest man moves forward without needing recognition. His motivation comes from within, not from the crowd's cheers. The boxer's training. A boxer trains in a quiet gym, no cameras, just sweat and repetition. He trains for readiness, not attention. In the ring, his opponent falters, trained for applause, while he stands prepared, forged in silence.
Revealing through restraint. Your silence reveals your character. In a world obsessed with noise, restraint stands out. The man who doesn't rush to explain or react shows control, discipline, and clarity. His silence is not weakness, but sovereignty. The unprovoked man. A man insulted in public smiles, nods, and walks away. The room expects a fight, but his composure disarms them. His silence, born of fortitude, is remembered long after the insult fades. Mastering self-control power begins with self-control. The man who remains calm while others panic, who stays still while others scramble, becomes the one others trust. Control is built through daily practice, choosing silence over reaction, intention over impulse. The leader in crisis. In a crisis, a leader listens, watches, and speaks only when necessary. His calm words bring direction, not because the storm ended, but because he never let it inside. This presence is forged in silence, rising without explanation. Stop explaining your path to those who don't share your vision. Every justification shifts your energy from building to defending. You weren't born to explain. You were born to create. Let your results answer the questions others ask. The craftsman's proof. A young craftsman once mocked, stopped sharing his process. He works in silence and one day unveils his creation. No one questions him anymore. His proof speaks louder than any explanation could. Discipline as destiny. Discipline, not motivation, separates the great from the forgotten. Consistency in silence, showing up without applause, grinding without recognition, builds what no one else can. Your habits, not your hopes, shape your legacy. The mason's castle. A mason lays bricks daily, ignoring mockery. Years later, his castle stands unshakable. While others chased shortcuts, he built with discipline. His work was between him and the stone, not the crowd. Immunity to drama. The world thrives on conflict, but you must become immune. Silence starves drama, confuses critics, and protects your focus. Choose your battles, stay grounded, and let your progress silence the noise. The untouchable man. A man walks through town, rumors swirling. He doesn't respond or explain. He works. Over time, the whispers fade and respect grows, not because he shouted, but because he refused to engage. Building your future. The life you want is built in silence, through focused movement and deliberate effort. Withdraw from noise to hear your own thoughts. Ask, what do I want? What must I give up? What must I change? Then act brick by brick with patience and faith, the captain's compass. A captain charts his course at dawn, alone, in silence. No one sees, but his quiet planning guides the crew through storms. Your life, too, is navigated by silent decisions, not chaotic reactions. It's time to turn inward. Let your silence become your strength. The less you say, the more you build. Stop chasing validation. Start mastering yourself. When you move in silence, life aligns around you. Embrace stillness and watch everything fall into place.